14.2 yards per reception, and a lot of those 14.2 yards were after the catch.
His first catch today, it was good for 14.
Yep, he's on his average.
Second catch today, yeah. They fake the reverse, straight ahead. Skinner in the red zone, down to about the 18-yard line. And Eric Clemens is enjoying this atmosphere. He's right in the middle again. Eric?
Yeah, Ron, with a lot prettier company this time. Yeah, that's it. These fans really happy, especially with that interception. And I know they all plan to storm this field because they'll be celebrating some kind of bowl if Oklahoma holds on to this game. I'm going to stay here for a while, guys.
Yeah, that's our ladies, man. Let's hope they don't get cable in Connecticut. 13-17 to play. The Sooners, Skinner dancing in the middle, finding something, getting up to the 15-yard line. Robbie Gillum on the stop.
A little deception again. You're giving the ball off inside to Skinner, but you're faking it to Daniels coming around. Skinner's running up inside behind number 78, Stocker McDougal. And what Bobby Stoops is telling Mike Leach there and big old Mark Mangino, hey, let's slow this clock down. There's only 12 minutes and 50 seconds left, and we got a chance to get out of here. As you see Bobby Stoops, who is very much a hands-on head coach in offense and defense.
They only need one for the first. They've only converted 1 out of 8 today. And again, Heupel changing the play at the line. They're going to throw it. Heupel pass incomplete. Intended for Brandon Daniels.
You know, and Kenyatta Wright did a great job of getting in the way and getting in the vision of Heupel. You're going to see Heupel. Now, this is great job by our camera guys. Look, everybody's talking. The center's talking. Number 14's talking. They're giving hand signals. He knows what he's going to do. It's maximum protection. The back stays in. But number 7, Kenyatta Wright, gets in the throwing lane, and that's why Brandon Daniels does not have a touchdown. This is an outstanding linebacker, number 7, Kenyatta Wright.
And OU will attempt the field goal. The ball is down. The kick splits the uprights. And Tim Duncan with his 11th field goal of the year. We have a timeout. The Sooners have opened up a 24-7 advantage here in the fourth.
In recent government crashes,
Oklahoma State to 176 total yards, and they are doing a great job. We talked to Bobby Stoops and we talked to Mike Stoops about preventing the big plays, and so far so good for Oklahoma's defense because they have prevented the big plays from the Oklahoma State offense.
Well, Duncan, who hit his first 9 field goals of the year, missed his next 5, got the 31-yarder, and has given the Sooners the lead. Oklahoma State bobs up to the 20-yard line, and that's where they will begin with 12:10 showing on the clock. And the Cowboys need to do something quickly.
You're probably going to see the Cowboys open it up even more, Ron. Maybe go to more of the wide open offense with 3 and 4 wide receivers and an empty backfield. Because you want to spread out Oklahoma now and get a quick strike here.
Well, the Sooners have had the ball 5 less minutes than the Cowboys, and they have 100 more yards offensively. That doesn't make any difference. What makes the difference is up in your left-hand corner, 24-7.
I've always thought that was the most misleading stat in all of football.
Simmons and Halferty in the backfield. Simmons, or Jamal Fobbs, I should say, nothing doing. And here's Eric Clemens with our National Car Rental Game Summary. Eric?
Okay, guys, storyline pretty much the same for the OU offenses. Josh Heupel approaching that 300-yard mark again. A couple of TD passes. Brandon Daniels, Mr. Everything, 6 catches, 82 yards, and 2 kick returns. Jamal Fobbs, in the meantime, they're trying to get him on track. 9 carries, just 26 yards, 2 catches for -6. So OSU in a bit of trouble right now.
And Lindsey has been contained. Play action with a man in his face. Lindsey's pass is almost picked off again. Barty is right there. He has been Johnny on the spot a couple of times this afternoon.
You know, he's a pro prospect. He runs a 4.4. He benches 330 pounds. He's an ex-strong safety that's got a great feel for the football when the ball is in the air. Now, someone might think this is interference or close to interference, but I don't think so. He was going for the football. But again, I'm prejudiced towards those defensive guys because to me, there is no such thing as pass interference.
Okay, we'll buy that. Third down and 15 now for the Cowboys. All on the 15-yard line. They did not get that play off. They did not. Pass was incomplete, but the penalty flag was thrown. As you saw our play clock in the bottom left-hand portion of your screen, read 0. And Bob Simmons' team will now face third down and 20.
Delay game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
Well, an update on OSU's offensive line. Raynell Levine is now out of the ball game. Josh Lend has moved over from that right tackle spot, and he has played just about every position. The numbers on Lindsey.
And what the numbers don't reflect, though, is the harassment he's been underneath and how many times he's not only been pressured, but knocked down to the ground. And they take their toll on any quarterback.
It is loud at Owen Field. Interesting play call. Third down and 20, and you're down by 17.
You know, Ron, I really believe Bob Simmons just made the decision. We don't want to make a big mistake down there. As we take a look at Ron Calcagni, he knows, hey, the quarterback goes back to pass. It could end up being an interception for a touchdown or a fumble. That was a conservative play just to try to get some field position here with 10 minutes and 44 seconds left in this game.
It was also Garrett Steggs, a tight end, carrying the football, and their bowl opportunity is at stake. Elder again to kick it away for the 9th time. Jackson at his 37. Jackson from the 47. Splits the seam, stays on his feet in Oklahoma State territory. Let's send it down to Kevin Frazier for a Dr. Pepper game break.
Guys, let's show you the end of the Georgia Tech game late in the 4th quarter. Tied at 48. Georgia inside the 5-yard line. Jams or Sanks, you tell me, does he fumble the ball or does the ground cause the fumble? Well, it was called a fumble, and in overtime, Luke Manjet, the 38-yard field goal. Georgia Tech upsets Georgia 51-48. Fabulous day for Joe Hamilton, guys.
I'll tell you what, Artie, I don't think that was a fumble.
I don't either. I think the ground caused that one. But I was glad to hear you say that our man Joe Hamilton had a good day, Kevin.
Now the Sooners take over, leading 24-7. 10-19 left to play in the ball game. Trying to snap a 2-game losing streak to the Cowboys.
Don't you like rivalries like this at the end of the year? Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Oklahoma State, Arizona State. This is all great stuff.
Well, a penalty flag was thrown on the far sideline, and I think that's a sideline penalty against the Cowboys of OSU.
Well, Rob Ryan out there giving the officials a piece of his mind. Boy, is that frustrating for a coach. You're on the sidelines. The officials don't want to talk to you.
On Oklahoma State, their second of the game. Charge timeout against Oklahoma State.
Boy, that hurts.
Yeah, especially in this particular game situation.
Absolutely.
You know, you're going to need those timeouts at the end.
Yeah, you go back to this game and you see the little things. The punt that Terrence Richardson got inside the 5-yard line, maybe should have let it go into the end zone. A kickoff that shouldn't have been returned, that was taken out of the end zone, gave him bad field position. All the little things in this football game, as Bob Simmons gives the heads linesman, Don Capperell, a little piece of his mind. All the little things, though, have added up, and that's added up on the scoreboard for a Sooner lead.
And also fumbling at the beginning of the game when they had a chance to go in and score after Oklahoma fumbled.
I think Colorado and Nebraska can relate to that. Daniels trying to get to the outside, and he does. Inside the 40, going to be marked out at the 38-yard line. I tell you, your hat has to be off to that young man, Brandon Daniels. Talk about perseverance deluxe.
But you know, Bobby Stoops is smart because he came in here and he said, guys like Brandon Daniels are good athletes. Let's put them to use. Let's get them the football. Let's put them in a position where they can be successful. And he's 5'10". He's 213 pounds. He looks like he weighs 220 when you see him out on the field. He's an excellent athlete.
Heupel, the quick look in. Pass is complete. Inside the 35, down to the 33-yard line to Curtis Fagan. who's also had a good game. Fagan's second reception of the afternoon. And of course, he has one touchdown pass. Good for 73 yards.
Well, one thing Bob Stoops is doing here, he's sending out a message to recruits. Hey, if you want to be